Hi, I'm theciaellis, and welcome. And I'm your host, Thecia. I'm sorry. Welcome to Grandma's Life podcast. I'm your host, theciaellis. Get ready to laugh, learn, and grow with me as we explore growing old in an ever-changing world. Today is July 23rd, 2023, and this is episode 41, Finding My Place in the Situation. Okay, I am discombobulated, but I'm going to do my very best. I am in Florida, and I'm recording a podcast there. I'm really hoping that you can't hear the television running downstairs because mom's losing her hearing and she turns the television way up. So I'm up here in the upstairs room trying to do things to do podcasts and I don't have my regular setup. As you can imagine, anybody who's traveling, I don't have my regular setup. So I usually print off my pages so that I can look at that. And I do not have a way to print off my pages right now. So I'm going off the computer, and I'm hoping everything is going well on the other end. We'll just find out. Um, farm happenings. Yes, I'm not on the farm, but I still keep track of everything that's happening there. And it's this. I was there for a few days before I left to come here. So we got another 1.9 inches of rain. I'm not. We're getting rain. It's July. We don't usually get rain in July. This has been a weird year. Oh, every time I say that, I am reminded that every year is weird in one form or another. It's either hotter than normal, or colder than normal, or wetter than normal, or it's later than normal. Something. It's always something. But July is usually not the time we get rain. But I have to admit, we will probably have a grape harvest this year because we've had rain. We'll have to see how it goes. When I return, I'll check it and maybe we'll have some grapes. Another thing that's been happening on the farm, and Tom has been telling me about this for a while, but I hadn't seen it. And then all of a sudden, she's been coming around more. But we've got a wild turkey hen that keeps coming visiting my heritage breeds birds, turkeys. And I don't know. I think it's cool that she's coming around, and she's coming around a lot. But I really need. I think I need to figure out how I can get it where at least they can visit better than just from on through the fence or something. I don't know. That's just a thought. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But it is cool. Tom even got some footage of it. It was. I may see if I can get something, do something with it, and put it on one of my videos. But um, I don't know. We'll have to see. But he did get some footage of it, and I did get it on the computer. So that's really neat. We did take Oscar to the processor, and I did not talk about it on my video that I put out just today, but I guess I can talk about it a little bit. I did not want to video it because I knew it was going to be a difficult thing to do in the first place. It was going to be hard to look at, and I didn't want my audience to seeing it. Oscar has had back troubles for several months now and was not getting over it, and so we decided on Monday morning to take him to the processor, and we literally pulled and tugged and worked with him for an hour trying to get him out of the mud hole. Then he slid back into the mud hole. Then he'd come back out of the mud hole. And we finally got him loaded up onto the trailer and took him to the processor. I was not happy with the situation, but there was nothing I could do about it. Now, the people at the process, I had already called them in advance. They knew that Oscar was crippled. A lot of processors won't take an animal who can't walk, but he did as long as he was still alive when he got there, and he was. Then it was kind of terrible because we would be tugging and pulling, and he would be pulling and tugging back on against us, and all three of us would have to stop and take a water break. And what I had to do to get him water was to get the water hose and do it like a drinking fountain, and let him have drinks of water then. So, yeah, we got that done. It broke my heart. It was very traumatic for all three of us. I have no idea how the meat's going to taste because he was a boar and he was stressed. We were all stressed when it came to that. So I don't know. We may have a whole boar's worth of meat that might not be worth eating, but at least he's not suffering anymore. And it's one less thing for Tom to have to take care of and deal with while I'm here in Florida. Um, we had a storm blow through in the middle of the week. I can't remember what day it was, but I think it must have been Sunday night. I don't remember when it was, but it blew a whole section of roofing off of Waddle's pig hut. So the day before I left to come here, I was out there repairing that, and they're good to go again, and that is on the video that I just put out today. So she's got a pig hut that's intact again, and so that's going that I feel better about that. I did want to get the fencing done, but I just didn't get it done. The trip to Florida was already going to be a late night anyway. It was supposed to take off at 7:20 at night from Tulsa Airport and land at 11 o'clock at night, Florida time. And I don't know why. I don't know what happened. But they kept delaying it and delaying it and delaying it. And I guess for some reason they had to wait for an airplane to land, and those people had to disembark, and then they had to clean the airplane, and uh, then we could get on the airplane. So it was 10 o'clock at night before we even got on the airplane, and it was, and then it landed in Orlando because my brother. That's what my brother wanted to do, and he came down to pick me up and brought me back up to the Jacksonville area. Apparently, the flights are cheaper if you land in Orlando, and he was very kind and came and picked me up in Orlando and drove me all the way to Jacksonville. So I got up at 5 o'clock that morning, and we got to his house at 4:30 the next morning. So I had a 23 and a half hour day, and I actually did pretty good. I held out okay. I got up. I got about 5 hours of sleep after we got there and got up. But I only late, but it's kind of terrible. I'm glad to be getting back to work. Honestly, I laid around for a couple of days, and mom and dad watch a lot of television, and I got sucked into several movies. In fact, we just got done watching one movie, and yeah, I today's the first day I've been basically back at work. I've been laying around and doing nothing but watching movies and Fox News. So now I have decided it's time for me to get back to work, and I'm getting some housework done for them, and I got the video put up today, and I'm doing this podcast for you guys. So yeah, I'm ready to get back to work. I'm ready to be part of it. It's been rainy the last couple of days. It's kind of cool because in Florida is one of the things where they have warm, basically hot air, and very humid, and then about 4 o'clock every afternoon, thunderstorms roll through. And it's been not quite that time frame because there's been other thunderstorms that's been adding to it. But I don't know. Where we are, there is a kind of a covered swimming pool. It's only covered by a screen, but a very stout screen. Like it's a screened in thing. Even the top of it is screened, and so the rain will still get through, but there's no mosquitoes. I don't know. It's just nice, and right off the back, outside of the screened in porch area is wilderness. I don't know. There's palm trees. You could every once in a while see a lizard going by. I've heard that there are alligators that go up and down through there. So it's kind of interesting. There's another pond that's nearby that they said that definitely there's alligators in it. So I'm going to check that out in the next few days too. I'm going to try to talk mom and dad into going to a few walks, either in the evening when it's still cooler or before they get up. I get a feeling I'm not going to be able to do the early morning thing with them because mom sleeps in, but I'm going to try, and hopefully I can get them out because we have two scooters, one for each of them, and that's good. So maybe we can get them out walking. I can walk and I can get some exercise instead of me laying around all this time. While I've been here, Tom has been working in the garden, and just yesterday he put up 7 cans. They're pint-sized cans of jars of tomatoes, and 7 more of salt. I think I can't remember how we already have now. I think we have 5 that we made up last week or so, maybe more than that. Now that I think about it, one way or another, we've got plenty of salsa to last for a while because that's what he wanted to make. And then he put up some tomatoes, and I use tomatoes a lot, so that's going to be cool. He's doing a good job of taking care of the garden, and apparently he's even canning too. And I have to admit, Kenzie is doing an excellent job. She has been doing the dishes and laundry and taking care of my egg customers for me. So we got a pretty good deal going. I really appreciate all the work that they're doing at home so that I can be here with my parents. I do not have my 3 things today, guys. I was just happy to get up and get back to work. Stuff I'm reading, I left at home. So I don't even have and I don't even have a quote of the day because all that stuff is at home. So you don't have to listen to me go on about that. I do have a scripture of the day, and I can share that one with you. It is Ephesians 6, 1 through 4. And it says, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with a promise, so that it may go well with you and that you may enjoy long life on the earth. Fathers, do not exasperate your children. Listen, oh no, excuse me. Instead, bring them up in training and instruction of the Lord." And that fits us right now. I'm trying to take care of my parents and help them get through a situation, especially with my father, and but I'm trying to obey them at the same time. That's a hard thing, guys. It's hard to say, look, you can't drive. You don't need to be walking without your walker. And dad's looking at me like I will do what I want to do. So I don't know. I struggle with that because I am from an era that what your parents said went, you didn't argue with them for any reason whatsoever. And it's kind of coming down to almost, if not a life or death situation, but it's definitely a situation where it could be save a trip to the hospital. I don't know. It's not been fun. And and it said, so like, fathers, do not exasperate your children. Yeah, he can be exasperating. So can my mother, I have to admit. And anybody who has elderly parents, you know that. Okay, my main subject are some of the issues we've been having. My dad does not need to be on the road. If you've seen any of my videos in the past at all, how I dealing with them and their driving, I had already stated I was going to be the one to drive. We're not going to do this. And the very first thing my dad says is, "Well, I'm driving. Get over it. Deal with it." And so I was not happy. And on that trip over where we were doing, he almost ran one red light. He got lost. He couldn't figure out how to use his GPS, and we did blow through another red light, and we almost rear-ended somebody. Had a pretty good speed, and so I was definitely not happy. And I didn't yell at him or anything like that while we were on the road, but there were some discussions when we got home. And so I think we've got that worked out now, which was hard. Like I said, it's hard. We don't want to be disrespectful, but my desire to live must outweigh his desire to prove that he can still drive, and he cannot. My mother, everything is, well, you just don't understand. You don't understand this, and I don't understand that. We can't do this, and nobody understands our situation. It's like, ugh, yes, Mom, we do understand. And I try to help, and that problem is I keep trying to fix everything. Mom keeps saying, "Well, we just don't understand the situation." And, well, tell me your situation so I can help fix it. Well, she doesn't want me to fix it. She just wants to fuss about it, and I need to. So I'm trying to help her understand situations, and I'm trying to help fix things. I'm trying to offer to help them in every way I can, and I'm not smart enough to understand that maybe they don't want that kind of help. Obviously, they don't want any help, but they're having to rely on me while Dad recovers, and he actually is recovering some. But we're having to learn how to deal with each other again. All three of us are very stubborn, very independent, strong-willed people, and I'm having to bite my tongue a few times, and I'm having to learn how to handle this situation. Um, I personally feel like they need to be in some sort of assisted living, and I've even said I'm going to be here for 2 weeks. Let me help you figure out, maybe help you pack a few things or something like that. Because even though we helped them move from a 3-story house several years ago, from a 3-story house to a 1-story house, they had a lot of crap that we moved in. And then whenever I moved them from the 1-story house in southern Oklahoma to Florida, there was crap that we brought there too. So even though they keep going smaller, they're not giving up a lot of stuff. I mean, they have been giving some stuff up, but it's a full house. It's full of 62 years worth of stuff that they've accumulated. And I've offered to help them go through that. I mean, obviously the pictures. My mom used to be an excellent artist, and so she has some beautiful artwork. And then she's got all the pictures of when we were kids. She's got pictures of her family. She's got pictures of Dad's family. For not current family, but previous, generations ago. So there's a lot of neat pictures that we could be going through and saving and learning about and stuff too. And we may do that while I'm here. We'll have to see how they do. Well, I would like to help them get a grip of what they want, because regardless, even if Dad gets to feeling better and they can go back to the situation by what they want by themselves, um, neither one of them have great physical health, and they're going to have to make some of these decisions somewhere along the line anyway. There have been times that my brother has intervened, and I've been very grateful for it. Like, they listen to my brother, they don't listen to me. I'm the oldest, and my brother's youngest, but it's that generation thing. My brother is the man. He's the boy. He's the leader, and whatever it takes, I don't care. It doesn't hurt my feelings, whatever. And my brother has stepped up a couple of times. In fact, he's the one that handled the situation with me driving, and because I was not getting where with Dad, and my brother did it. He's very diplomatic, and I'm very grateful for that. So I'm grateful for everything my brother and his family's done for us the last few days. Like I said, Dad is improving. When I first got here, well, they were saying he was falling like 3 times a day. He hasn't fallen since I've been here. He is getting more steady on his feet. He's looking better. The light had gone out of his eyes. He had like no comprehension. He's very tired. He didn't look good at all. And he's improving. I don't know how much of an improvement that is, but he is walking. He toddles. He refuses to use a walker. So I get the feeling somewhere along the way I'm going to be picking him up, whether I want to or not. But that's the way it goes. Mom, sometimes she falls, and at least she will ask for help when she's having some difficulties. But they have fallen. Mom had her foot. She fell 2 years ago and broke her ankle and had to have surgery on it 2 years ago. It was almost 2 years ago. And, but at least she asked for help sometimes when she needs us. But neither one of them walk well. And so, like, when they go in separate directions, I don't know who to follow. So, yeah, I'm having fun. But I'm glad to be back at work. I was glad to get the video. I had recorded the video before I left the farm, so it is up, and I'm glad for that. And I'm going to try to get some video work done here. And I'm hoping I can get up early enough in the morning where I can go do some beach time and get that taken care of. Or I want to do some beach time, not necessarily for just laying. I'm not going to lay around. I need to walk. I've got some feet issues, and it seems like when I do the sand, it helps my feet, and I want to feel better, so I'm going to do that. I messed up. My story of the day was the story of Dad driving home, getting lost, and running red light, stuff like that. And this is going to be just a really short one, and I guess that's the way it goes. And they might be short for the next couple of them while I'm here in Florida. But hey, I'm glad to be able to get to talk to you anyway. So my question of the day is: what are some of the challenges that you have had in your endeavors in taking care of your elderly parents? And maybe some of you are young and you haven't had that issue yet, but I bet you there are a few of you that have. And so I'd like to hear about it, and I'd like to hear some of the things that you have done to alleviate those issues and or make it better, or what you did to make it worse. I don't care. Just tell me your stories. I'd appreciate it. All right, my income to producing activity of the day is Podmatch. I like Podmatch. This is with for those of you who do podcasting or consider podcasting or something, and you want to be on other people's podcasts, or you want somebody to be on yours. Podmatch.com, and if you look on the link below, you can see, and you can go through there. It does, you fill out bio information, what your podcast is about, what you want to talk about. If you do interviews with somebody on theirs, or they do it with, however, you feel you do a lot of upfront work of getting information out there so that other podcasters can determine if it's a fit for you to be on their podcast. So, but if you go down the link below and go through there, I would get a small affiliate thing, be no extra charge to you. And I've done a couple of interviews with some other people, and I've enjoyed talking to them. So that's what I've got for that. I would ask, even though this, like I said, this is a very short one, I would ask for a 5-star review. So if you would go to any of your podcatchers or something like that, whatever they are, leave me a review. I'd appreciate that. It would help me to get found, and so that's cool. Where I can be found. I have the website is grandmashomestead.farm. Grandma's Homestead is my main YouTube channel. That's the channel I've been doing for, I don't know, 7 years, something like that, 7, 8 years. And so you can see, you can watch every once in a while, you can see where Kenzie, how much she has grown over the years. I started Grandma's Homestead YouTube channel. Originally, it was called Ellis Family Farms, and I did it so that I could see us progressing in some form or another on our farm. And I've just enjoyed doing that channel, and I'd appreciate if you go check me out on that channel, Grandma's Homestead, and see what's going on over there. I can also be found on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, MeWe, Twitter, and Rumble on different variations of theciaellis or theciae or something like that. That is all I've got. I can't spend too much time up here because I got to make sure that my parents are okay. I told them I was going to be up here for as much as an hour, but apparently I'm not even going to be that. It's only 20 minutes today. So that's good. That's okay. At least I got to touch base with you, let you know what's going on in my life and what's going on here. And that's all I have for you guys. I pray that things are going well for you. I pray that you are handling things better than I do in some situations. And I will see you next time. God bless.